Humanity, after residing on Earth for thousands of years, finally expanded in the 21st century, and we began to stretch far into the Milky Way galaxy. For hundreds of years, humanity grew, but by the dawn of the 26th century, the support of this expansion started to break. Outer colonies, far-off worlds at the edge of human-controlled space slowly fractured. The UNSC first quelled these uprisings, but banners soon raised and factions formed. It became clear that war was inevitable. In response, the UNSC resurrected an old super soldier project, the Spartan Project. Originally designed to combat these insurrectionists before they became a threat, they were deployed at the start of another war in 2525. Harvest, a planet on the edge of human-controlled space, went dark. Naturally, the UNSC believed it was an insurrectionist uprising. Many ships were sent, but only one returned, claiming the colony had been set ablaze from orbit from an alien ship. They even received a cryptic message to relay to humanity, a warning of our impending destruction. Admiral Cole led a fleet and went to investigate Harvest, and while he retook the planet, he found that the planet's capture wasn't from any indie group. The Covenant, a collection of alien races that worship beings long dead, proclaimed a holy war on us, believing us to be the unholy enemy of those they worshipped as gods. As Cole's fleet held Harvest, the Covenant laid waste to more outer colonies, gaining mass attention by the public 2 years later. The Spartans were sent in to try to hold off this threat, but even perfect killing machines could only delay the Covenant advance. Even Cole, as tactically brilliant as he was, could only destroy one of their ships for 3 hours. Most of our outer colonies burned by the year 2535. Then they attacked the inner colonies. Worlds better protected, more industrial, brought hope that they could turn the tide. The Covenant quickly dashed those dreams, though. We were losing. Humanity was being exterminated planet by planet. But as a kid watching this play out, I thought the UNSC were winning. You made us believe we were winning.
If you give your soldiers your hope, then they fight harder than any augmentation. But if the enemy breaks it, then there's nothing left to fight with.
Reach must have been the exception to that rule then.
It's only a simple concept, but while we're on the subject, just how did you come to enter the UNSC?
I joined the UNSC thinking I wouldn't be needed, to protect my home just in case. We were winning even after Cole's death in 43. I was stationed on the UNSC Kingston, the battle group defending Actium. For a while, the men and I thought we would never be needed, until it was our turn for Actium to be burned. When our defensive fleets got smashed, the ship I was stationed on fell back. We were deployed to counter a Covenant landing site, keep them from destroying our ground MAC defenses, and keep the portion of the planet safe from glassing. The battalion was getting massacred. Over 500 dead within the first week. We never fought anything like it before. No matter how many simulations we ran, it couldn't have taken in the brutality of them. What was left of my battalion after a few days was struggling to hold on. Well, until a colonel ordered us to push and counter against the enemy advance. We were stunned, thought it was a suicide mission, and to all counts it was. The colonel gave a speech to us and others across the planet, helped everyone get riled up. Luckily, his plan backed his stance. Within 2 weeks, what was left of my company was assaulting the outskirts of the Covenant landing site. The colonel's plan worked. His tactics were impressive. We were being supported by ODSTs, and it looked as if we were breaking their lines. But the colonel had other intentions. Without alerting us or anyone else, his company, deep inside enemy lines, activated 3 tactical nukes at the remaining Covenant landing zones. The mountain concealed most of the blast, and myself and an ODST got to safety just in time. But a majority of the Covenant in my battalion were dead. I know why he did it, but it doesn't make it any easier to take it in. With nobody left to defend those guns, I watched from orbit as they glassed Actium.
Not a sight you ever forget.
What was your first? Glassing, I mean.
Reach.
Thought so. Reach was the only major Oni HQ next to Earth. Probably shocked you to see what the Covenant was doing.
I'd seen photos, and I'd also seen recordings of what the Covenant were capable of, but It's another thing to see it firsthand, especially as vital as that is reading. Please, continue.
After acting, I enlisted in the ODSTs. The ODST that saved my life during the battle helped me get fast-tracked through the process. Later, I served under him. Then, toward the end, he served me. Dozens of drops over the years, always managed to scrape by in one piece, at least until I was pulled into the battle for tribute. Everyone was so concerned for Reach, our last defense before Earth. That support for other planets in that system was virtually zero. I never saw action on Reach, but helped protect those who stood in defense of it on tribute. After recovering from injuries sustained groundside, I got back to my squad as the Covenant invaded Earth, or specifically New Mombasa. In that time, by your word apparently, the ship known as the Pillar of Autumn, escaping Reach with Spartan 117, found an ancient alien device called Halo. Apparently it was made by the Forerunners, the same ancient alien race the Covenant worshipped as gods. The Covenant intended to activate the device, which they thought would allow them to meet their gods, but the device was apparently used to destroy the Forerunners' own monsters, with a destructive yield far greater than anything, well, ever imagined. Master Chief destroyed the thing, stopped both the Covenant and the monsters on the construct, and then returned as a major hero. My squad and I deployed to take out the field marshal leading the Covenant ground assault in New Mombasa, while our hero just attacked the Covenant in New Mombasa with every other Marine squad and ODST squad known, thus beginning the UNSC counterattack in New Mombasa, which gave my squad an opening to take out this field marshal. When we deployed...
Is something wrong, Connor?
You have my file. Isn't this getting a bit monotonous?
I have noted you feel comfortable talking about the destruction of your homeworld, but when asked to comply with a simple request about what happened with your last mission, I note that you're hesitant.
Yeah, the medals I received really never took away the giant target engraved in my back by my peers.
Is that why you accepted the offer to become a Spartan for? A chance of redemption?
Or a chance to become something more than any ODST trooper could.
Most troopers I've interviewed aren't exactly fond of Spartans even existing, let alone fighting alongside them. Why would you want to be a Spartan?
Those would be the same roughnecks that want to be the best, but they know they can't measure up. You know, when they train you to become an ODST, they implant the idea you're the best of the UNSC. Now tell me, what does that make a Spartan?
Saviors, killers, the whole nine. Besides, you volunteered, you tell me.
Again, that must be new for you guys, the volunteering, I mean. Having to ask for help, can't just steal kids in the night anymore, experiment on them, grow them in your own army. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Only remove those procedures.
Hmm. So you know all of this, but you still join the program. Why? So what are Spartans in your own mind?
What do I think of Spartans? Well, I believe they are what saved humanity, but at the cost of their own humanity. Though that's what's going to be different from about us. We're going to have that. We're going to have that edge. But anyway, let's get this test done with, shall we? The Covenant, after the Halo event, splintered. The elites sided with humanity after the Covenant betrayed them at New Mombasa. The UNSC and the elites launched a final counterassault shortly after, on a Forerunner site that controlled all the Halos across the galaxy. Master Chief sacrificed himself to stop the Covenant from activating the so-called Ark, and the infection that was on the site from spreading throughout the galaxy. We made a painful peace arrangement with the elites, and now only have to worry about Covenant radicals. The only major thing that occurred since the end of the war over 5 years ago was the Infinity discovering Requiem, a shield world created by the Forerunners. The Covenant radicals on the planet activated some sort of defense AI and sent it at Earth. The UNSC battle group engaged and stopped it as it started to glass Earth. I know Infinity is prepping to leave and head back to Requiem to stop the Radicals from tampering with anything else. So are we done yet?
Almost. It seems your memory hasn't been affected by the process, and all your mental signs are nominal.
Uh-huh.
Always enjoy this final test. Those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it in the future. Anyway, congratulations, Connor Jensen, or should I now say Spartan Connor. Your fire team will be waiting for you in the Infinity Hangar Bay.
Ah, chosen already. Which fire team? Talon, Sword, Castle?
Oh, no. All your new armor has or should have been delivered to your quarters. Grab your stuff and head to Hangar 4. A Pelican will be waiting for you. Good luck out there, Spartan.
Thanks.